Hello to everyone in the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Cathedral community. This is Father Jonathan. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to continue our conversation about Christian practices and extend it to not just something that we do, but perhaps something that we don't do as a practice. What do I mean by that? There's a rich tradition within the scriptures of practice of the Sabbath, of rest. And we might find ourselves with a little bit more opportunity for downtime during these days of pandemic because we're not able to go out, we're not able to socialize in the way that we were before. We find ourselves on retreat in our homes. And how do we utilize our downtime? This is a question that is important now, but should carry us over into when we get back into our everyday life, a regular cycle of things, when we're back in the hustle and bustle. How do we relax? How do we rest? How do we find time to recuperate and recover physically, but also spiritually from the goings on around us? And this is an important thing for us to do always. We need to know not just what we're going to do as a practice, but how, as a practice, we can set aside time for meditation, for recovery, for being alone with God. Now, this can take a lot of forms, and it could be something as simple as choosing a day during the week when you don't engage in the life of the world. And that could be, something mundane, or it could be something really intentional. Like perhaps on Sunday afternoon, at least, you don't engage in engaging in the economic world. You don't go to the mall. You don't do those things. Right now we can't, so it's not something that is immediately on our mind. We might say that, we're going to take a rest from social media. I know that most of your interactions with me right now are via social media, but maybe there should be a time when we rest from social engagement on social media. And maybe our relaxation, our rest, is being together with actual people. Maybe it's enjoying each other's company in person. And this is just one way of doing things, to reorient ourselves and the things that we do and don't do so that we can direct towards our ultimate aim, which is union with God, communion with God, and with one another, and also the cultivation of virtue. If we can get in a habit of being still, of resting in ourselves, making our way into our hearts, we can begin to see those vices that we have, those things that we don't want to be doing, and also begin to cultivate those things that we want to be doing, virtuous things. We can become more patient, generous, kind, not so easily moved to anger. If we take the time to rest and be with God, we become more aware of who we really are in relationship to God, in relationship to one another, in relationship to the world around us. And so in this time of perhaps forced separation, isolation, rest from the hustles and bustles of daily life, even though we might still be working, it might be time for us to cultivate a way of being in the world that reflects the value and the necessity of intentional rest for God's glory. Taking a step back from all the hustle and bustle, all of the things that we have to do, all of the running that we have to do, so that we can authentically orient ourselves towards what really matters. Our relationship with God, union with God, and communion with our neighbors, our brothers and sisters. Please take this opportunity when we have fewer distractions to consider how we might carry this way of being, the positives of it, into our daily lives once we find ourselves back to some relative normalcy. God bless you. We're here for you. We love you. I hope that you're having a blessed Holy Week. Remember that we have services throughout the week in the evening. We're still reading names that you submit via our online candlelighting platform on our website. And we'll read those names at the end of each of the services in the evening, along with the prayer for health and well-being during this time of pandemic, in addition to our regularly scheduled Holy Week services in the evening. Again, we're here for you. We're praying for you. Reach out with anything that you need. God bless.